Tervetuloa Suomi, welcome to Finland. We are excited to have you join us as we dive into a pestle analysis of this beautiful country. Finland is one of the world's northernmost countries. It is a Nordic country situated between Sweden, Norway, and Russia and has an area of 130,666 square miles. Finland has the third lowest population density of any European country and has only 28 inhabitants per square kilometer, compared to the 57 inhabitants per square kilometer in the United States. With a little over 5.5 million people living in Finland, there are actually more saunas than inhabitants. Finland is known for many unique practices, including Finnish baby boxes, some of the highest-ranked educational systems in the world, Marimekko Design House, the highest number of heavy metal bands per capita, progressive maternal and paternal leave policies, the Nokia Corporation, and Angry Birds. Please join our group of international business analysts as we explore Finland as a potential for future business endeavors. Let's get started.
Now let's move on to the political system. The political system in Finland is a multi-party system. The president is the head of state and the prime minister is the head of government. Just like the United States, Finland has three branches of government: the executive, legislative, and judicial. In the executive branch, power is divided between the president and the prime minister. The prime minister is elected by parliament and appointed to office by the president. The president of Finland can serve a maximum 2 6-year terms, while the president of the United States can serve a maximum 2 4-year terms. The legislative branch in Finland is called the Eduskunta. The Eduskunta holds the 200 unicameral members, while the United States has a bicameral house known as Congress, with 535 members. The judicial branch in Finland currently has 19 Supreme Court justices, while the United States has 9. Just like the United States, Finland justices are appointed for life. However, in Finland, the requirement age for justices is set at 70, while the United States does not have an age requirement for retirement. Despite differences in the United States and Finland political system, nothing is as crucial as the election process of the president. In Finland, the popular vote appoints the president, while in the United States, the Electoral College appoints the president. On a corruption scale from 0 to 100, 0 meaning corruption and 100 meaning no corruption, Finland scores 90, while the United States scores a 76. Rule of law is on a scale from negative 2.5, meaning weak rule of law, and positive 2.5, meaning strong rule of law. Finland's rule of law is 2.12, while the United States is 1.62. Finland has a much higher political stability than the United States. However, from 2004 to 2005, the United States had a negative political stability. Freedom House has a scale from 1 to 7, 1 being free and 7 being not free. As of 2017, the United States and Finland both rank first in political rights, freedom ratings, and civil liberties.
From here, let's look at the economic analysis of Finland. Let's start by looking at the degree of economic freedom of Finland. The Heritage Foundation Index of Economic Freedom ranked Finland with almost equivalent score in 2016 at 72.6% versus the US at 75.4%. When we look at the trend of this spectrum, we will find Finland has shown significant improvement versus the US, which has declined considerably within the last 20 years. Overall, Finland is ranked at the 24th freest economy in the world. Finland has a highly industrialized, largely free market economy with per capita output almost as high as that of Austria, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Sweden. But when compared to the US, the current GDP is 232 billion versus the US 18.3 trillion. As one can see, the US GDP has grown exponentially compared to Finland. As the chart indicates, Finland's trend appears somewhat flat relatively compared to the US. If we take a closer look at Finland's GDP alone, in the last 50 years, it has showed marginal growth rate during late 80s to early 90s, followed by considerable gain between early 2000s to the end of 2011. It has been a slight overall decline since 2012. The GNI per capita PPP of Finland is 46,500 compared to the US 56,000. Overall, the Finnish income level has slightly lowered, but it has kept pace with the US for a number of years. The unemployment rate has been rising in Finland and is currently as high as 8.7%. In contrast, the unemployment rate has been declining in the US and currently 4.9%. The inflation rate of Finland shows striking similarities with the US. It has overall been declining since its rise in 2011. Foreign direct investments are lower when compared to the US, both in and outflow, and when compared to the FDI stocks. Yearly inflows and outflows have been on the negative trends as seen in the chart. Top trade partners with Finland are Germany, Sweden, Russia, US, China, Netherlands. And the top export partners being Germany, Sweden, US, the Netherlands, and Russia in order. The major imports for Finland are mineral fuel and oils, machinery and mechanical appliances, electrical machinery and vehicles, and commodities, whereas the major export are machinery and mechanical appliances, paper and paperboard, electrical machinery, iron and steel, and mineral fuels and oils.
At this time, I will discuss the sociocultural analysis of Finland utilizing information obtained through a combination of Hofstede's cultural dimensions and general socio-demographic data. As seen, the ethnicity of Finland is 93.4% Finnish, and over 93% of the population speaks Finnish. Similarly, 73% of the population religiously identify as members of the Evangelical Lutheran Protestant Church of Finland. With such a homogeneous society, the culture lacks the internal diversity that can sometimes be found in other cultures with a more melting pot stratification. Next, we'll review the Hofstede's cultural dimensions. I ask you pay especially close attention to individualism and masculinity. The Finnish scores on these two elements, which represent the largest gap from U.S. scores in the same category, will most likely present the biggest challenge to a U.S. company looking to expand their business into Finnish markets. At this time, we have the opportunity to experience a summary of the Finnish culture and people from a native. Please keep Hofstede's cultural dimensions in mind as Mai discusses Finnish culture.
Suomi on aika pieni maa. Meillä on noin 5,5 miljoonaa ihmistä. Olemme melko samanlaisia. 73% ovat kasvanut luterilaisessa kirkossa ja hallitseva etnisyys on Suomen kansa. Suomalaiset ovat ylpeitä heidän isänmaasta. Suomalaiset uskoo, että pitää hoitaa itseään ja perheenjäseniä, joten on aika individualistinen yhteiskunta. Se eroaa Yhdysvalloista silleen, että vaikka perhe on pääasiassa ydinperhe, Suomen valtio auttaa tukemalla ohjelmia vanhuksille. Tämä tarkoittaa sitä, että vaikka suomalaiset ovat individualistisia ja uskovat, että ihminen yksin täytyy auttaa itseään ja perhettä, niin heillä on myös turvaverkon ohjelmien tukea, joka auttaa koko yhteiskuntaa. Suomi on myös feministinen maa, jossa sukupuoliroolit ei ole hyvin tiukat. Suomi oli ensimmäinen maa Euroopassa, joka myönti naisten äänioikeuden vuonna 1906. Suomi valitsi myös ensimmäisen naispresidentin ennen kuin Yhdysvalloissa, Tarja Halonen. Hän näyttää paljon kuin Conan O'Brien. Suomalaiset uskovat myös tasa-arvoisempaan yhteiskuntaan, jossa maan kansalaisilla on turvaverkko-ohjelmat, esimerkiksi maksutun koulutus, sairausvakuutus ja lastenhoito. Suomessa äitiysloman keskimääräinen pituus on noin 105 päivää maksettu. Isyysvapaata myös kannustetaan ja tämä on tyypillisesti noin 9 viikkoa. Vanhempia kannustetaan pysymään kotona lasten kanssa asti 3 ja he saavat kotihoidon tukeen sekä valtion apua lastenhoidon maksuihin, kun he palaavat.
As seen by both the Hofstede score and Mai's account of the culture, American companies wanting to expand to Finland will need to evaluate how their current company leaves and compensations stand with the cultural expectations of the Finnish people. Extended parental leave and benefits will most likely need to be added to the budget projections if the company hopes to recruit and retain employees with a level of expertise and excellence that would be desired for the success of the company.
Let's take a look at technology in Finland. In development expenditure, Finland's percentage of GDP has been steadily increasing over the years. Comparatively to the United States, Finland has been leading over the years in percentage of GDP. According to statistics, Finland research and development expenditure amounted to 6.1 billion euros in 2015. Scientific and technical journal articles. Scientific and technical journal articles refer to the number of scientific and engineering articles published in the following fields: physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics, clinical medicine, biomedical research, engineering and technology, and earth and space sciences. Over the years, Finland has been steadily in terms of scientific and technical journal articles. As for the US, there's a significant amount of decrease in 2004, followed by a high increase in 2006, and steady ever since. Let's move on to environmental in Finland. Looking at the Environmental Performance Index, Finland scores 90.68, which puts them at number 1 spot out of 180. The United States scores 84.72 with a ranking of 26 out of 180. Finland, after looking at all environmental factors, is the number 1 country. According to the Environmental Performance Index 2016, Finland is the greenest country in the world. Finland is followed by Iceland, Sweden, Denmark, and Slovenia. Finland's top ranking is mostly based on country's societal commitment to achieve carbon-neutral society that does not exceed nature's carrying capacity by 2050. The report indicates that Finland has actionable goals and measurable indicators of sustainable development. Finland performed very well in the areas of health impacts, water and sanitation, and biodiversity and habitat. The report shows there are promising global trends in health impacts across access to drinking water and sanitation, while air quality and fisheries are growing concerns.
The legal system in Finland came to be when Finland was under Swedish rule, hence the law system in Finland is based on the Swedish civil law system, while the United States uses the common law system. Finland operates on a 3-track dual court system, hence the court system is divided into 2 branches, general and administrative. The general courts deal with civil suits and criminal cases, and the administrative courts regulate actions between individuals and the administration. In the administrative court, approximately 80% of the court cases involve appeals of government tax decisions, with the remainder dealing with questions relating to construction, welfare planning, and local government. The general courts consist of the district courts, Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court. The district courts, which is headed by the Chief Justice and other judges that hold the title district judge. The district court deals with criminal, civil, and family matters such as divorce. There are currently 6 Court of Appeals in Finland, and the Court of Appeals decides cases that were appealed by the district court. Finally, the Supreme Court holds 18 judges, including the Chief of Justice or President of the Supreme Court, as mentioned earlier in the political section. Decisions in the Supreme Court are based on written materials. Occasionally, the Special Court has defined roles within the jurisdiction. The Special Court consists of the Market Court, Labor Court, Insurance Court, and the High Court of Impeachment.
SWOT analysis of Finland. Let's look at one from each column. Strengths. One strength of Finland is cutting-edge industries such as technology. Weaknesses. Industrial crisis and loss of competitiveness. In 2017, the government's priority will remain focused on the fight against unemployment and the revival of the industrial sector, which continues to suffer from low competitiveness. A competitiveness pact was signed with social partners in the late 2016 with the aim of reducing unit labor costs by 4% in 2017. Opportunities. Enhancing the impact of research, promoting demand for innovations by public measures. Finland has developed the innovation policy consistently. One of the strengths of the Finnish innovation environmental is the active and successful dialogue involving companies,
research institutions, and the public sector. Threats. Finland is highly dependent on global networks. Finland's economy is increasingly dependent on the functioning of international networks and logistics systems. The worst-case threat scenario is a situation where critical imported goods or services are temporarily unavailable.
We hope that you have enjoyed this pestle analysis of Finland and that you now feel more prepared to make future business decisions in regards to this country. Thank you for joining us, and heippa, goodbye.